and welcome to OnSide SA. Budge, myself and Stevie B in the Fulham studio will run through what's happening this weekend. We'll touch on the results that have been played, the games that have been played this week. Interesting results with the Champions League. But first of all, always, last one standing. Budge, we've come down, but only two.
Only two, Paul, both international clients as well. So
that's right.
Guys are hanging tough, yeah.
Brighton took 16 through. Fulham, Steve's beloved team, took 7 through. And Palace took 1 through. The guys who lost were your team, Man United, Budge, and Newcastle. 3 ladies. The percentages are incredibly accurate. Linda Potts, Dora Roussos, and Ancilla Jackson. And 3 internationals, so the girls are going with internationals. Mark Aboud, the Egyptian cross-dressing jockey, Walter Luthi from Switzerland, and Harold de Boeing.
Nomad Rankin, yeah.
Yeah, Nomad Rankin. Well done to those guys. And the locals, we must mention them. Chris Arito, Cams Moonsamy,
yeah.
Phil Chivers. Guys are still going, that's excellent. Rowan Woodley, Jeff Scrooby, Gary Green, Decoy Doug, his beloved Southampton are languishing. Mark Fullion, Blaine Hamilton, Mark Sultan, Dave O'Connor, Craig Furry. These Furries are always in the scrum. Shane Borter, Sorrel, good to see him the other day with his triple chin. Yeah. Ray Lovett saw him as well. And is it Beto Quintes?
Yeah, Beto Quintes,
okay.
Husband, yeah.
Toad favourites, there's 2 of them, Budge.
2 of them got 2 picks, Paul, they've done great.
Logan Pillay,
yeah.
And Grant Fraser the Appy. He's taken the gap.
Yeah, he has.
Well, yes, phew. Don't forget, this Saturday,
it's a new competition.
The new competition. For all of you out there, Budge is going to send messages, get the new competition underway. We're looking to get someone out to an overseas trip. You've just been, Budge, you've just taken someone.
Brighton Man United, Paul.
Brighton Man United, eh? Yeah. So the boy enjoy it?
Oh, over the moon, Paul. He's just come back.
Yeah, it's wonderful. If surprised like that, you go there and you watch it. One of your favourite teams. It's all laid on.
And he had 1 pick, so
fantastic. What was his name?
Marco Gavia, yeah.
Oh yes, Marco Gavia. His father's involved.
Yeah, Manny's involved. Yeah.
That's right. All right. So those are the stories. Let's get Steve in. Steve, are you there? Hello, Steve.
Steve, are you there?
I'm here. Good morning.
Morning,
all right,
Steve. Morning. How's your weather in Blighty?
Yeah, it was bleak.
Well, it's November. The clocks have gone back. It's dark. It's been rainy.
And the weather's gone forward. Yeah.
It won't stop Nipper Brian on the 21st. He'll have a barbecue. Yeah. Right, but you want to talk?
Yeah, let's just go, Steve. Let's go run through the Champions League quickly. Obviously, we've got a busy show. Arsenal cruised through 3-0. I watched quite a bit of it. Never in any doubt. Yeah, once they got the penalty, it was all over. Liverpool, Real Madrid. I watched the first half. Then I watched the other game. I thought was key. PSG and Bayern Munich. Liverpool back to the best, Steve.
They were. That was a very good. It was a 90-minute performance. Real Madrid really created very little when you think of the players that they've got, but that was Liverpool back to what we expected from them, and it was a really good performance. I think now the thing now is, can they carry that on into the Premier League? But interesting, they had Andy Robertson back at left back as opposed to Kirkes, and he had a tremendous game. Conor Bradley at right back kept Vinny Jr. very quiet, and Van Dijk and Kennard kept Mbappe quiet. He didn't really see much of Mbappe.
And they're not a good team, Steve. I watch them most weeks. As long as Liverpool play those 3 boys in the middle of the park, they will be a threat.
They've got a touch of quality, but they don't always gel.
Nothing in the middle of the park, they can't defend.
Yeah.
And once you get into them, they try and play out from the back.
Good
where
keeper.
Most teams in England have realised, don't play that against Liverpool. And Spurs 4-0, Paul?
Yeah, I watched it. It was a game that we really dominated. It was good to see the boy up front that he played up front. He kept Rick Allison on the bench, and he played well. He had a go. Xavi, he had a good go. He really, because he took a bit of flack during the week from Jamie O'Hara, had a go at him.
I listened to it, yeah.
And the boys all had a full go at Jamie. Said, "Oh, you were on Spurs greats, Jamie. Give this guy time,
Yeah.
So I thought they were very good. Again, we had a guy sent off, borderline. It was straight red.
A bit of a cruncher, yeah.
But he just slightly lifted his foot at the last part, and he can't tackle a good dinner, that winger, Brennan Johnson. But he went off. Suddenly, the goal of the year in the Champions League will be hard to beat what Mickey van der Ven did. He got the ball on his big box line, and he started one of his runs. One
of the Sun goal.
Luck's son against
Burnley. Yeah.
Burnley. He went past 5 players through the middle of them, paced and stuck it in the back of the net. The commentators said they've never seen it. So
open sesame. So it's 4-0 to Spurs. Good result.
Missed a penalty. Richarlison hit the crossbar.
Rick Ellison.
Rick Ellison.
Rick Ellison. Okay.
Rick Ellison. Yeah.
A couple of games on tonight. Chelsea go to Azerbaijan to play Qarabağ. Man City, Dortmund, and Newcastle Athletic Bilbao. Then Europa League. Forest travel to Austria to play Sturm Graz. Steve, do you think he'll play a strong team?
I think he will. I think that obviously his sort of first game that they won was against Porto, and he put a strong team out. Yeah. I think he will. He's got a big squad, so he can mix and match. But I think he will put out a strong team because I think they want to make a bit of a statement. Yeah. So they showed a sort of bit more sort of fighting qualities in that little period against United at the weekend. So I think he'll put a strong team out.
All right, Aston Villa host Maccabi Tel Aviv with none of their fans allowed, and Crystal Palace AZ Alkmaar. It should be a good game, that.
That should be a good game, yeah. I mean, Palace, they've stuffed a little bit, but it's a good win at the weekend for them. And I think, again, he'll put out a strongish team because they've got their derby against Brighton at the weekend. So, but I think he still will put up a strong team out.
Yeah. Anyway, on to the fixtures for the weekend. And Paul, big game, Saturday lunchtime.
Yeah, Budge, your team have improved. They've come well, they're playing well, and they came back to do burglar point. Our team have been disastrous at home. We've only beaten Burnley. Yeah. And at least we won this match at home, for the fans. There were a few missing. I saw the grandstands normally full out. There were a few missing. And it'll help them. I think it's a tight game, could go either way. Go either way,
yeah, I'm the same thing. What do you think, Steve?
Yeah, I think I agree with you both. I think it could go either way. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a score draw here. Tottenham just think to be under pressure. Maybe last night obviously gives them a bit of confidence, but in the league they really have stuttered at home compared to their away form. And United are just showing a little bit more character. So I think it'll be an entertaining game. The only thing is obviously it's a Saturday lunchtime, which we don't always like. But no, I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, score draw looks on the card. I think there'll be goals, but you just never know. Both teams, you never know what you're going to get. Everton, Fulham, Steve, can you sneak a point?
Yeah, we've actually had a very good record against Everton in recent years, but you don't know what Everton we're going to see. I thought the first half an hour they were superb at Sunderland, should have been clear, and then after that, Sunderland sort of raised their game a bit, and Everton were hanging on. So we play well in patches. We've got players back from injury, so we haven't got that excuse. I'd take a point now. I think, watching, let's say, that first half an hour, Everton looked really good, and Jack Grealish on the ball is going to cause anyone problems. So a point is not a bad result for us, especially in front of big crowd in the new stadium.
Yeah, I think both teams have scored 9 to 10's worth of interest. You just never know. Yeah, Everton cost me money the other night. Just needed one side to win for a few thousand rand. But anyway, it's how it goes. Never know, Fulham, with your team, Steve, away from home, you've lost 4. But I say, you have got a good record. But that was at Goodison. So you just never know. But I'm going to sit in the fence and go both teams to score. West Ham had a great result on Sunday, Steve. You think they can get another one at home against Burnley?
I think they can if they play with that sort of determination. I mean, they gave away an early goal, and the West Ham of a couple of weeks ago might have sort of crumbled, but they finished strong. In fact, Newcastle, I thought very disappointed with Newcastle. Yeah, I just thought that away they've really been they've struggled. So Burnley again. They haven't shown much at all away from home. They had that win at Wolves, but then we know how poor Wolves have been. I think if West Ham get back-to-back home wins, I think the fans maybe ease off the board a little bit.
Yeah, I was impressed. Just the way they stuck at it. They had a full go. And when they did come under pressure at the back, they were a little bit more like physical. Steve, I agree. You've got to fancy West Ham are the two teams. But Burnley score away from home. They scored a couple at Old Trafford, a couple of Wolves. And they're not going to lie down. So if you are going to go West Ham to win and both teams to score, yes, to the shade under 3-1. Steve, Arsenal too good for Sunderland?
Oh yeah, they should be. But Sunderland will give it a go. But I think Arsenal score, they don't concede. I mean, they've had 10 wins in a row in all competition. Yeah. They haven't conceded in about 8. and they're looking very comfortable. And I think that this could be a little bit too far for Sunderland. But they're in a great position, Sunderland. So even if they get nothing out of this game, they're still sitting pretty near the top.
Yeah, again, they're not expecting anything. The two bets that I fancy are Arsenal to win to 0 at 11-10, or Arsenal to win by more than 1 goal, also at 11-10. So I think they'll win fairly comfortably, but I went Arsenal to win by more than 1 goal at 11-10. Chelsea Wolves, which team are we getting? The Chelsea team that always seemed to win? Was it at 3 Point Lane, or the team that got beat at home against Sunderland, Steve?
Well, I think this is, even though they're playing sort of tonight, you would expect. Wolves were by far the poorest team I've seen this season. Last weekend, they've sacked the manager. I'm sure it's all a little bit up in the air there. Must be low on confidence, and I can't see anything other than a comfortable Chelsea home run.
Yeah, what's the League Cup game? Ended up 4-3. I went over 3.5 goals at 14-10. Over 2.5 goals was 5-10. So I'm going to chance an extra goal. I think that's the right play in that game. But you just never know with Chelsea. They celebrated like they won the World Cup when they beat Spurs. Wolves won't go down, and especially having to travel to Azerbaijan tonight. It won't be easy, but surely Chelsea have got to get a result. On to our second page, and we've got Aston Villa Bournemouth. Steve, this will be a cracker.
Yes, it will do. Villa will probably put out a strong team tonight against Maccabi Tel Aviv. Bournemouth are playing really well. Even when they're not winning, they're playing well.
Yeah.
I think this will be a tight. I think there'll be goals. The one thing Bournemouth do is they do have a go, and I think they'll score. So for me, this could go either way, but I think they could potentially, it could be a sort of a score draw for me.
Yeah, this is my play of the weekend. I fancy Bournemouth to get a result, 24-10. The bet I really liked was Bournemouth to win or draw, and both teams to score yes at 15-10. I don't see Bournemouth losing this. Aston Villa against Liverpool, I don't know what it is. They try and play out too much from the back. And that goal that they conceded against Liverpool was an absolute disgrace. I don't know what it is about Emery. He's trying to influence the Spanish football where you're playing teams, just go out there and beat them. And this Bournemouth are going to be down their throat. And I fancy Bournemouth to score at least 2 goals at 16-10. But this is my value bet of the weekend. I'm all over Bournemouth. The other team I looked at going for was Brentford, Steve. As we spoke earlier, Newcastle away from home have been woeful. Even Alan Shearer had a full go at them on Sunday. And Brentford, this won't be easy for Newcastle. They could cause another upset, yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that Brentford at home recently have been strong, and Newcastle very disappointing away. Brentford didn't. I thought they might get a result at Palace, but Palace played very well against them. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if, for me, it's either Brentford or a draw.
Yeah, I think I took a chance here. It's going to be bombardment, typical what football's becoming lately, all these long throws and set pieces. I'm going to chance Brentford to score over 1.5 goals at 16-10 rather than Brentford to win. Crystal Palace Brighton, Steve. It's a derby. I fancy Palace. Everyone thinks because they play midweek and they play a strong side, they seem to get stronger on the weekend. I haven't been impressed with Brighton. I know they beat Leeds 3 comfortable. Was it 3 or 4-0 last week? Comfortable, but I fancy Palace all day here. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think at home they will be favourites, but again, because it's a derby, there's no love lost between the team, the fans particularly. I think this will be a close game. I don't think there'll be many goals. It could go either way, but I think Palace should start as favourites. Yeah,
it's amazing how many 1-1 draws there have been. Remember last year was Palace were all over them. I think Danny Welbeck scored late on, but I'll be watching. This will be the game that I do watch on Sunday. But for me, I fancy Palace. Notts Forest Leeds, Steve. How do you see it?
Yeah, it should be a good game. I think that, again, interesting as to whether he puts out a very strong side tonight. And we'll see. Leeds, again, you're not sure what you're going to get with them. It was a fairly woeful display at Brighton at the weekend. Yeah. I think of the two, for me, Forest will start as favourites.
Yeah, I'm going to have a look and see what team he puts out on Thursday. If he rotates it, I'm going to have a good bet on Forest. I like what I saw against United. They didn't really get the rub of the green, but he's slowly turning it around at Forest, and I think they'll be too good For a Leeds team who've lost 4 of 5 and they only beat Wolves away. So I fancy Forest. Big game on Sunday, Man City, Liverpool, Steve.
Yeah.
Can Liverpool come back?
Look, it depends if we can get the Liverpool of last night or the Liverpool of the last sort of half a dozen games. I think based on last night, I think they'll certainly give it a go. The one thing City do is concede.
Yeah.
They can't always keep a clean sheet, and that was evident last weekend as well. But look, give the ball to Haaland and he's going to score. That seems to be their mantra at the moment. So I think this could be a really good game. In the past, it's sort of almost been a title-type decider. They're playing at the moment. They're playing for second place with Arsenal so far clear. Yeah. So I think it'll be a good game. It's hard to call. Based on last night, I think Liverpool could certainly could hold them.
Yeah, I think there'll be goals in this game, Steve. Both teams, for me, defensively on to grab. It's going to be a midfield battle. If Liverpool play the normal 3, I think they've got a great chance. But if they don't, mix and match, play 2 and a Wirtz. I don't know what he's going to do with Gakpo. Is he going to start Gakpo and drop Wirtz? But it should be a good game. They normally are. But I just got a funny feeling there's going to be a few goals in this. Onto the championship, and there were midweek the games last night and the games tonight. But first game up, Steve, Watford, Bristol City. Your brother must be over the moon with this new manager.
Yeah, well, with the new old manager.
Yeah,
who
that's
obviously
correct.
was there before, but they've had a couple of really good results, and I think Bristol City sort of gone off the boil. A few defeats recently. So for me, I'm going to go with the home side here.
Yeah, I've got to fancy Watford 16-10. They won their last 4 at home. So Friday night game. 16-10 Watford for me as well. 2 teams that have had a good run. Blackburn have won their last 3 and Derby have won their last 4. They clash. I like the home team, Steve. Do you agree though?
Yeah, Blackburn have had 2 really big away wins last night at Bristol, and then the weekend I watched some of that. They really played well at deserved to win at Leicester. So Derby have sort of come good, but for me, I think this is a game for Blackburn. I fancy them to get a result.
Yeah, I think there'll be goals, but of the 2 sides, I definitely fancy Blackburn. Hull City, Steve, I know they got beat last night, but at home, they're going good, great guns. I think they'll be too good for Portsmouth. Are you with me?
Portsmouth.
Yeah, I think so. Portsmouth had a bad defeat at the weekend. I was surprised. I thought Hull might get something last night and in the end were beaten. But I think Hull should definitely start as favourites. Yeah,
11-10 Hull all day. Millwall, Preston. Terrible result for Millwall last night, getting beat 4-0 at Birmingham. My boys are at home to Swansea tonight, so hopefully we can continue our home form. But I don't know, Stevie. I'll take a draw. Millwall, never an easy place to go to.
They're not, and at home they're strong, and they've had some big wins.
Yeah.
But Preston surprised a lot of people. They've had some good results, and they're up there. When you look at that league table, you find them much closer to the top than anywhere else. So I think Millwall, though, for me at home, I think they might just edge it, but Preston will keep it tight.
Yeah, our best player is a goalkeeper, Daniel Everson, but Millwall 3 home wins in a row. Won't be easy to get even a point. On to our second page, and we've got Middlesbrough, Birmingham City. Bad result for Middlesbrough last night. Steve drawing. Oh, sorry, I'm lying. They drew at Leicester, so it wasn't the worst of results.
Well, they had a bad result at the weekend, sort of beaten by Watford. Birmingham, who was stuttering a little bit, 2 big 4-0 wins. Yeah. So they're going to go there with a lot of confidence. I think Middlesbrough start as favourites, but it wouldn't surprise me, based on the back of the last couple of results, that Birmingham might get something up there.
Yeah, I watched them beat Preston 1-0. While they didn't deserve it, they've got some guys that can play. They've got a guy in the middle of the park. I think they bought from Chelsea. I think he's a Japanese guy. He can play, that guy. But Middlesbrough just got off the boil, so you just never know. Norwich, last 6. Lost all 6, even at home they're disgraceful. If Leicester can't get a result here, that manager's surely got to be under pressure.
Well, I think he is under a bit of pressure anyway, because they are stuttering in the middle of the park. Norwich, 6 home defeats in a row, haven't picked up a single point in the league. Well beaten last weekend. I don't think the fans can believe what's going on there. I mean, luckily they picked up a couple of wins and a couple of draws away. Otherwise, they would be, just sitting next to Sheffield Wednesday. I think they can get something, Norwich. I think they could hold Leicester, because Leicester are just I think they're going through the motions a little bit. I think the fans are very upset there. So, but if not, Norwich 7 home defeats. I think that's a record for them in their history to lose 7 at home in a row.
Yeah, it's hard to go against a team that is showing nothing. So win and draw Leicester for me there. Another team that I was all over last week, Sheffield United, got well beat 3-1 at home by Derby.
Yeah.
Chance to rebound against QPR, but can you trust them, Steve?
Well, again, last night they were winning. They were 1-0 up at Coventry and they conceded late goals. But you're not sure. I mean, in their 9 defeats in 12 games, Sheffield United. Yeah. It's hard to make a case for them. We thought they'd turn the corner a little bit with a couple of wins, but QPR had a poor result last week. So, for me, probably go with the home side, but it's hard to know.
Yeah, another game hard to call. Southampton, who fired their manager, was it Will Still? Reported tactical genius, so they all told me, against the Sheffield Wednesday team, Steve. They're showing a lot of fight, especially away from home, but surely Southampton have got to turn it round.
Well, you would think so. I mean, I'm not quite sure who's going to be in charge there, but Sheffield Wednesday seem to be away from home, as you say. They picked up a fighting point last night. I think that Southampton should be too strong, but they really struggled, and you can understand why the fans have been very upset there.
Yeah, come back Premiership, and that's how they perform. On to our final page in the Championship, and it's Stoke City against Coventry. Two teams going well, Steve.
Good game.
Which way are you siding?
I mean, Stoke City, who they've been there or thereabouts before, but they're really having a bit of a go. They've had a couple of big wins, big win at the weekend and a big win last night. Coventry, I watched their game at Wrexham, and Wrexham deserved to win. I was disappointed with Coventry and came back last night, but I think this is definitely going to have goals. So the one thing Coventry do is score a goal. But Stoke are looking. This is probably the best they've started in a long time. So I wouldn't be at all surprised if either it's quite a few goals and a score draw, or Stoke might just edge it, because I think they're showing a lot of fight, and especially under their manager. Who Mark Robbins, who obviously was at Coventry. So I think he'd love to sort of, and if they win, I think they could go top if they win.
Jeez, okay. Well, I just went both teams.
4 points clear, Coventry, this morning.
Oh, right, okay, yeah, because they won in the end.
Please, Steve, get your facts right, Steve.
With a home win.
Yeah, I just went 7-10, both teams to score. I think there'll be goals.
Good price.
So that's my play in that game. Swansea, Ipswich, Steve. I just can't catch Ipswich. Last week I thought they were going to rebound and have a good run, and they were woeful. I'm going to give them another chance. Swansea haven't been in the best of form. And if ever Ipswich are going to put a run, I think it has to start here. I fancy them all day, Steve. What do you think?
Yeah, and again, you don't know what you're going to get with Swansea. They play nice. It doesn't always translate into results. Ipswich, as you say, had a couple of good wins, and all of a sudden they stutter and they get held by Watford last night. I think of the two, I would certainly plump for Ipswich though. Yeah,
I'm on Ipswich all day. West Brom, Oxford, a team I can never catch, but I think they'll be too good for Oxford, Steve. Ryan Mason, I don't know what he's trying to do playing out from the back, but I think it'll be too good.
They've been disappointing recently. West Brom have been very disappointing. They don't concede many goals, but they're not scoring much. And, they started well, but they slipped down a bit. But this is a game they're going to look at. Oxford had a big defeat last. Yeah. I think West Brom should win this.
Yeah, I think comfortable home win for the Baggies. And last but not least, Wrexham, who can't stop scoring against a Charlton team, who are actually defensively very solid. I don't know which way to go here, Steve, but I think there'll be goals. There's one thing about Wrexham, there's always goals.
Yeah, they certainly have a go, and based on what I saw the other night, they played really well against Coventry. Kiefer Moore got a hat-trick, and they pushed for goals. And Charlton have been playing, really surprised me. I mean, they've been hard to beat. They sort of nicking wins. Had a good win at Ipswich recently. Yeah, I'm a plump for Wrexham.
I just seen that Kiefer Moore. What's he? 6'8". He's a threat. They just put balls in the box and he wins it. So Charlton are well organised, but just a big centre forward. I think there's goals here, Steve. I don't know if the game's on TV or not. It'll more than likely be Stoke Coventry on ESPN, but I'm looking forward to that game. I'm on goals all day. Steve, pressure time as normal. Need your best bet and value bet.
Yeah, I'm going to go for Blackburn Rovers. I just was very impressed with the way they played at Leicester, and I think that the two and a good win last night. I fancied them at home. And for me, my value bet, I'm going to go for Watford. I just think the new manager, as you say, won 4 in a row at home. I think they'll be too strong. So,
I went Hull City. Obviously, we had to nail the colours to the mast last night, even though they did get beaten. I'm going Bournemouth. I like what I saw against Man City. They have a go. They could get beat 3-0, but I think they can also win 3-0. So 24-10, that's my suggestion. But Steve, last one standing, get your pick in, and remember, don't pick Spurs again. I know they stuck you out many a time.
yeah, it should be a good game though. Should be goals.
Let's hope so.
All right, Steve. All the best.
Lovely. Have a good one.
Yeah, thank you, Steve.
Steve.
Bye.
Yeah.
Right, Budge, for yourself.
Yeah, Paul, a couple of games last night. Obviously, Amazulu, I couldn't believe they got beat by Polokwane. Chipper 0, Magezi 0. I watched Chiefs 4-1, comfortable. Scored a few good goals. And Sekakuna, Richards Bay. Sekakuna 1 up. Richards Bay scored a bit later, so good luck to them. There's a 4 games on tonight. But the weekend, we've got the Carling semi-finals, Paul. Both games in Durban.
Well, they're both in Durban.
First game
against Pirates.
Yeah, that's a Moses Mabida. Got a fancy Pirates.
Hot favourites. Favourites.
Golden Arrows are going well. I'm surprised they've taken this game to Umlazi. Because they play in Hammersdale Golden Arrows.
Okay.
1-5 and lost one of the 6 games there. But Maruma Gallants, they play in Bloemfontein. Yeah, they knocked Sundowns out, Paul, so they've got to fancy them.
So you see it Pirates?
I hope it's Pirates Golden Arrows.
Pirates Golden Arrows.
Maruma Gallants, funny team. But for me, it's Pirates and Arrows.
All right, Buzz, let's look at your selections.
Yeah, on to our soccer exotics on Saturday. And I've got in the field in the Tottenham United clash. I've got in the field likewise in the La Liga game between Girona and Deportivo Alaves. I think Orlando Pirates will be too good for Richards Bay. Likewise, Como to be too good in the Serie A against Cagliari, and then 2 home win and draws. I'm going Lecce, win and draw against Hellas Verona, and siding with the away club, RB Leipzig, win and draw against Hoffenheim, 2-1-6. On to our second soccer 6, 5 win and draws in a banker. I've got Everton win and draw against Fulham, Middlesbrough win and draw against Birmingham, Coventry City win and draw at Stoke City, throwing the draw in with West Ham United at home against Burnley, Wrexham I don't see losing at home to Charlton. I'm chancing Sevilla to beat Osasuna in the Liga, 192. On to our soccer 10 for Saturday. I'm going Alaves, win and draw at Girona. Bankering Pirates to beat Richards Bay. Como to beat Cagliari. The field in the Lecce versus Hellas Verona fixture. Going with RB Leipzig to avoid defeat at Hoffenheim. On to our second page, I'm bankering Cercle Bruges in the Belgium Pro League to beat OH Leuven. Going Everton win and draw against Fulham. West Ham win and draw against Burnley. Bankering Sevilla to beat Osasuna. And the field in the Portuguese match between Alversa and Rio Ave, 288. On to the Soccer 13 for Saturday. I'm bankering Chelsea to beat Wolves, Arsenal to beat Sunderland, Everton win and draw against Fulham, West Ham United win and draw against Burnley, going for Middlesbrough to beat Birmingham City, Leicester City win and draw at Norwich City, and Sheffield United win and draw at home against Queen's Park Rangers. On to our second page, I'm bankering Southampton to beat Sheffield Wednesday, Coventry City win and draw at Stoke City, Ipswich Town to be too good away from home against Swansea City, West Brom to beat Oxford United, Wrexham win and draw against Charlton, and Peterborough win and draw against AFC Wimbledon, 256. On to our Budgies bets for the weekend. Yeah, I'm going Arsenal to beat Sunderland by more than 1 goal. I'm going over 3.5 total goals in the Chelsea Wolves match, and both teams to score in the Everton Fulham and West Ham Burnley fixtures, 3,200 to 200. My team goals sides are all these teams to score over 1.5 goals or a minimum of 2. Bournemouth, Brentford, Crystal Palace and Man City, 3,800 to 200. Yep. On to the championship. I'm going Hull City to beat Portsmouth, Ipswich Town to beat Swansea City, and West Brom to beat Oxford United, and both teams to score, 3,300 to 200. Both teams to score sides are Blackburn, Derby County, Southampton, Sheffield Wednesday, Stoke, Coventry City and Wrexham, Charlton, 2,200 to 200. On to Spain, where I'm going Real Madrid to beat Rayo Vallecano and both teams to score. I'm going both teams to score in the Mallorca-Getafe fixture and over 3.5 total goals in the Celta Vigo versus Barcelona game, 2,800 to 200. And our Collis King 6 or Nexa, I'm going Arsenal to beat Sunderland, Hull City to beat Portsmouth, West Brom to beat Oxford United, Atletico Madrid to beat Levante, Real Madrid to beat Rayo Vallecano, and Bayern Munich to beat Union Berlin, 2,300 to 200.
Excellent, Budge. Excellent. That looks very, very good. So what's most important is don't forget the new last one standing starts. The first game comes up early on a Saturday. Well, it's the early game on Saturday. And Budge, you'll be getting hold of the game.
Yeah, Paul. All the guys in the first competition, they've all been notified. They got notified on Monday. A few picks have come through, but everyone will get the video tomorrow morning, and I'll be on their cases, Paul.
Yeah, we must do. Till next time, stay on side.